Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the MacNSeitz 15U YouTube channel. Today we have a matchup against the Stick Baseball Academy right out of Arkansas. Today we're playing in Wyandotte, Oklahoma in the Chad Wolf Classic. So we've been playing in the Chad Wolf Classic since Thursday afternoon, and here we are again going into game number 4 against Stick Baseball. MacNSeitz not faring super well. We're going 1-2 in the tournament so far. So a good win coming up in our first game, giving us 2 wins in a row. And then after that, it was kind of all downhill. Not getting a lot of offensive production, a few errors out in the field. Honestly, we've seen some decent pitching from the MacNSeitz pitching staff, but unfortunately just not having that offensive production has kind of put us out of contention. And so, of course, falling down a little bit lower in the seed. So Chad Wolf Classic, such a huge tournament. And I want to say, gosh, how many teams were there? I think 240 teams for all ages is what I'm being told, yeah. And so that starts at 14 going up to 18U. And so quite a few teams. There were pools A through O and 4 teams per pool. So we were kind of like right in the middle of our pool. But let me go ahead and review the starting lineup for you today. As you can see out there on the field, that Stick Baseball is drawing that home billing, and MacNSeitz will be the visitors. Starting for us, let me take a look at this lineup here. We are away. So leading off for MacNSeitz is going to be number 27, Tucker Lees. Had a pretty decent tournament out here at the plate, followed by Boston Townsend. Hitting in the 3-hole is Cooper Harvoth, also starting on the bump for us today. And number 21, Reed Satterwhite. Number 5, Brooks Carr, followed by number 35, Zane Valdez. Number 10, Sebastian Wingrove. Number 15, Miles Vaughn. And number 18, Parker Simons. Harrison Perkins. And number 31, Anthony Sutcliffe. And so that's our starting lineup today. You may see some defensive offensive substitutions. Sorry, I have a few distractions out here, but a few offensive substitutions as well. So we'll see as the game progresses. But, of course, the umpire meeting has already transpired. Looks like Stick Baseball is all warmed up and ready to roll. So beautiful field out here. All turf. So turf infield, turf outfield. Of course, the batter's box and the mound as well. Still a warm one today. Not quite as warm as it has been, but my goodness, it has been warm. So a little breeze, and as you might see, the sun is beginning to set over here on the right side of the field. Now leading off, Tucker Lee. This one's a ball. First pitch coming in, 75 miles an hour, so some decent velocity. This is that classic lefty versus lefty. And 2-0 to start. Strike call. Lefty working from a modified windup, so just kind of a short step back. Now 2-2 count. Little fly ball. This one over to second base, and that'll be out number one. So it looked like that one caught off the end of the bat. He's a little quick with the hands and got the ball in play, which is certainly always a key, but no luck there. Now followed up by Calder Boston Townsend. Little check swing, and that's going to result in an 0-1 count. That ball glanced off of the stick. So lefty up there on the hill, not pounding the zone exactly just yet. Good ball right down the first base line, but did go foul. I do have an obstructed view over here to the right side, so I don't see the right side of the field too well. So another one down in the dirt, and Boston thought about it, but wisely was able to hold up. Oh, no, that's my mistake. Maybe they did call that. So goes down swinging, and MacNSeitz starting first two up with 2 outs. That'll bring up number one, Cooper Harvath at the plate. So quite a few down in the dirt. Swing and a miss. Same page is fine. Yeah. So my wife, who oftentimes helps me set everything up just like she did today, fly ball, this one. Going to be a can of corn for the center fielder. So that's going to be 3 up, 3 down for Stick Baseball Academy. And MacNSeitz will have an opportunity to get out here and play some defense. So 2 balls put in play, but no luck starting out here early. Short audio break here, folks. Really appreciate you joining us. Make sure you leave a comment, like our video if you can. now we're set to go for bottom of the first. Once again, starting up there on the bump for MacNSeitz today is number 1, Cooper Harvoth. Reed Satterwhite behind the dish. And a foul ball to start. Going over the field positions right now, got number 27, Tucker Lee at third. Looks like Parker Simons at short. Sebastian Wingrove at second, and Miles Vaughn at first. Ball in play, this one right back to the pitcher, and Cooper Harvoth makes an easy throw over to Miles Vaughn for out number 1. So a good start for MacNSeitz. Finishing up those field positions for us. Out there in left field, we've got Harrison Perkins, Zane Valdez in center field, and then right field will round out the field positions for number 5, Brooks Carr. So Harvoth kind of coming in around their mid-70s. That last one, 74 miles an hour. Tends to be kind of where he sits. As he starts to wear on and get a little bit tired, you'll start to see kind of more like 71, 70. But good sharp release off of the hand in his motion. Good quick motion as well. I think he's definitely getting the most out of his body and stature. Not an overly big guy, but good strong arm. A little off speed there for ball 1. And timeout called by the batter. Oh, no. Looks like there's a little field obstruction over there on the right. Not sure what happened there, but Miles Vaughn over there on first base can be a little bit of a character, and that elicited a laugh from the crowd. Little chopper, going to be handled by the third baseman, and he sailed the throw. Runner will make his way over to second. So over there at third base, Tucker did a great job getting to the ball, putting the glove on it, and should have had an easy throw over. He's had a couple of errors in the past game, and maybe a little uncharacteristic. So stick baseball with a base runner on second base now. Couple of down. And a great off speed right there. That has been a little bit of MacNSeitz's Achilles heel, is pitching typically has been doing a pretty bang up job. Oh, same spot right there. Freezes him up. And now needing just one more strike to retire the side. Goes back to it again, but buries that one. Trying to get him chasing, but he did lay off. But that has been kind of the Achilles heel, is the pitching's done great. We've gotten pop flies and little ground balls, and we've just had some defensive lapses there behind the pitching staff from time to time, and then things kind of tend to spiral. So let's see what MacNSeitz can do here, try to get out of this inning with no damage. And a strike 3 call. Oh, I apparently had my number of outs wrong. Yeah, I do get distracted out here sometimes and trying to run all of the equipment. So my apologies on that, but 2 down now. So stick baseball looking like they are feeling free to swing the bat here early. And Cooper Harvath doing a great job not getting overly frustrated by the air behind him. Still finding the zone. This one right up the middle. That will more than likely result in a run. Throw comes home. And he is safe. So a single right up the middle. You know, big throw home from Zane Valdez. Made it close at home, but he was safe. And the runner is then able to make his way over to second on that throw. So once again, errors leading to runs for our MacNSeitz boys. Not only that, but the extra pitches on the arm as well. Hard hit ball. This one is left side, and it is foul. That was hit well and deep. Perkins was quick on the step, but unable to get there. And a near miss there. That'll make it a 3-1 count. So again, 2 down, runner on second. And Satterwhite doing a nice job just getting the glove on the ball and saving that base. That was ball 4, and so he'll make his way down for the free base. Now Satterwhite wanting to talk to Harvath. Make sure they're kind of on the same page. Anytime you've had a runner out there on second for a significant amount of time, sometimes changing your signal calls or maybe just getting on the same page after a walk. Always a good thing to do. Hard hit ball, backhanded by. Nope, that gets through the infield. And so that will be a single. Parker with a good quick step there. Thought he had that backhand. He had his glove down, but did not get down quite far enough. That ball did get through. So that'll leave us with the bases loaded and 2 down. Little pop fly. And Miles Vaughn brings that one in for out number 3. So an error leads to a run, and that'll put stick baseball up 1-0. So quick audio break for us here. Thanks again for joining us today. All right, now we are going to see if MacNSeitz can't get a little something going here in top of the second. Leading off for us is going to be number 21, Reed Satterwhite, followed by number 5, Brooks Carr. Swing and a miss to start. And Satterwhite wears one, and he'll earn his way over to first base. So it looks like I maybe didn't get all the names for the stick baseball team. Number 24 up there on the mound. 46, that's Preston Kendall working behind the dish. And Carr takes the first one for strike one. Being patient, seeing what the pitcher has to give. So oftentimes when we get that lineup, we don't get the whole roster, but looks like the stick baseball team is using a DH and probably in place of that pitcher. So Carr being patient. Still that lefty versus lefty, and I got to tell you, MacNSeitz has quite a few lefties up and down the lineup. Hard hit ball. This one gets by the third baseman. And MacNSeitz with the leadoff batter on base. I'm sorry, yeah, that was not the leadoff, was it? We had Reed Satterwhite got hit by a pitch, so he was over on first. He makes his way to second. And then Carr doing a job and making his way on base. That'll leave runners on first and second for number 35, Zane Valdez. So Zane kind of looking like he's bunting. Pulls back because that one was down in the dirt. So Satterwhite has a courtesy runner over there at second now. Ryder Votah. Valdez lays the bunt down, but it rolls just foul. Really, really good bunt. Just a little too much spin on that ball and taking it over that foul line on the third base side. So again, that's Ryder Votah, courtesy running for Reed Satterwhite at second. Votah with plus speed for sure. And you got to think that with those bunt attempts, MacNSeitz looking to play a little small ball and just try to move runners over into scoring position. Ground ball, this one over to second. They will try to run two, but only are able to get that runner out at second base. So a fielder's choice. But Valdez doing a good job putting that ball in play and moving a runner over into scoring position. So just one down. Now we've got... Oh, looks like our lineup's a little wonky here. Let me see if I can make an adjustment there. No. Good night. All right, that'll be number 10 up at the plate. Sebastian Wingrove. And stick baseball taking just a quick minute here, check on their runners, or not their runners, but their fielders rather. A little contact out there on second base, but shortstop looks to be okay. So Seabass on a check swing goes just a bit too far, and that'll be an 0-1 count. On deck, Big sassy. Miles Vaughn. So no movement over there at first. Zane Valdez has pretty good speed, so like to see maybe if he could get over to second and get that force out of the equation. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2 count. Valdez does make his way over to second on that pitch. So that'll go down for a stolen base. And Wingrove goes down swinging and audibly frustrated. But a scoring opportunity still all the same. Runners on second and third for Miles Vaughn. So showing some patience right there. Good plate discipline. Votaw creeping down the third base line. Another ball there. Got to wonder if Votaw's watching that pitcher closely. Lefty oftentimes with his back to the third baseman, if he catches that ball and walks back, oftentimes he can lose sight of that base runner. Vaughn fouls that one back. And that one down in the dirt. Be good for ball 4. That'll load the bases for number 18, Parker Simons. Looks like Stick Baseball coach wants to have a quick mound visit, review things with his infield, maybe on how they want to handle things. He's talking to the catcher, it looks to me, about like how he's receiving the ball. And now he's pointing out his first baseman had a shoe untied. So he's looking at all elements, conferring with his infield on how he wants things handled, and a short and sweet visit as he heads back to the dugout. So once again, that's Parker Simons, number 18, up at the plate. Pass ball. Here comes Votaw, and that'll be good for the tying run. So Votaw, great base running, as usual. Had his head on right, waited for that pass ball, and was able to make his way home. Interesting how the differences in the fields can change the play of game. You know, the last field that we were on, fly ball. This one right side, it's kind of midfield, second baseman, and he's able to bring that one in. So MacNSeitz will leave 2 stranded, but are able to tie up the game. And we'll go on a quick audio break in between innings here. Okay, and that'll bring us to bottom of the second. Score all tied up now, even at 1-1. Cooper Harvoth still on the hill. Defensive substitution there. We've got Boston Townsend over there at third base. Ball down. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Hard hit ball, center field. That one gets down, and that'll be a base hit for the Sticks. So hopping in and out tonight a little bit is going to be Kevin Townsend, as you heard him join us a few times here earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love doing this. This is a lot of fun. I'm trying to do double duty tonight, make sure to get some videos of the boys at bats so that they have something to post on social media when they make contact and drive the ball. I see my guys out there at third for one of the few appearances out there this year.
Harvoth checks over there on the first base runner. Yeah, you know, it's always interesting looking at the tournament play and where guys get put in, but really good to get guys reps and keeping them in the lineup when they've been putting the bat on the ball and putting it in play. Sometimes they're not even necessarily getting a ton of hits, but they're putting it in play and giving themselves a chance. And I think that's got to be one of the focuses for us because it's the offensive production that has been a little bit low for us.
Yeah, 100%. I think, and right now we need guys that are trying to make something happen here because we're not swinging, we're not scoring. So this, I know Boston is, probably a lot like Tuck, and like a lot of the other guys would rather be out there in the field playing a slightly uncomfortable position or something they haven't done in a little bit than sitting and not feeling like they're contributing to the team.
100%, and it's interesting when you get out in the field how that can kind of get the juices flowing for a good AB.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about getting into the rhythm of the game, right? Like there are some guys, and even in the big leagues, that can come off the bench and be productive pretty consistently in that DH kind of a role. But for a lot of the guys, you kind of got to get a feel for the game.
And so a strike call there. That'll even up the count at 2-2. Little chopper, this one right back to Harvoth. And that'll be good for out number one.
It's a lot of fun. The last few days I've been here in the tent with you most of the game and enjoying the shade and being a part of the broadcast. And now I'm sitting in the stands on and off as I catch a little shade between innings and stuff and hearing everybody sort of, what's going on over there in that tent? They're real curious about the setup and kind of wondering what's happening. They think radio or TV's covering it.
Well, it is where the magic happens, that's for sure. Well, we do have a lot of fun with it, and I think that it's interesting if these boys take the opportunity to go back in and just kind of look at the sequences. You know, we were talking about just overall baseball IQ, and looking at situational baseball, there's no better way to get better with your baseball IQ than to actually watch baseball. And I know a good portion of these guys, they watch a lot of baseball, some college, some pros. Big hard hit. This one is deep. Valdez is going back, and he's able to collect that. So no tag. They thought it was going to be over Valdez's head. And Valdez does a nice job collecting that one for out number two.
Really nice job tracking that down. He's out there making the no-fly zone sign in the outfield and center field, throwing up the little X with his arms there. I love it. Absolutely.
And it's funny because it's those little defensive miscues that can sometimes, bog a team down. But, gosh, if you can make one little miscue and then still recover from it, that's always a key. And that was a great play right there, and hopefully the boys are going to get some energy out of that.
I hope so. We need to, like I said, we've been talking a lot about how psychological baseball is, and just any little thing can start to become the thing that's the tipping point for you.
So foul ball left side there. That'll make it an 0-2 count. That's number 12, Deacon Cicero. That's what I'm going to go with.
There's two of them. I think they might be twins.
Oh, a couple of twins on the team possible.
Brothers that are really close in age. That's all right.
And a hit by pitch. Doggone it. Harvoth had him down 0-2.
Yeah, I thought that looked it from this angle for a second like it went off of Reed's glove there, but clearly off the hitter, not off the glove.
Yeah, didn't see any negative reaction from Satterwhite as you might have if that had been another situation. So.
So I'm seeing, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing Miles talking to his outfield, seeing what's going on with the batter, telling his center fielder where he needs to be positioned.
Hard hit ball. This one left side, but it does go foul. And Harrison Perkins, with that quick step out there, is able to collect that one and get it back to the infield. Having that quick first step as you see the ball come right off the bat is so key in the outfield because inches become what feels like miles if you don't get out there quick. Ground ball, this one to Wingrove, and that's going to be good for out number 3.
Nice. So, man, despite the runner, managed to get out of that inning pretty quick.
Absolutely. So Stick Baseball Academy leaves one stranded. And MacNSeitz able to get out of that inning with no damage done. We'll go on a quick audio break, folks. Thanks again for listening in. We'll catch you here after the half inning. Okay, folks, that will bring us to top of the third. That is number 7, Harrison Perkins at the plate, taking the first pitch for ball 1 high. Thought about that one. And is able to hold up on it. So 2-0 count.
Our boys on the bench are a big fan of the vocal umping that's happening out there right now. The communication between the home plate ump and the field ump, checking to see if he went on that swing.
Well, at any time I think you're hearing anything coming out of our dugout, a lot of chatter and stuff like that, that positive energy, you can tell that the boys are feeling good, and hopefully that equates to some good baseball. Good hit ball. This one over to shortstop. And he's able to leg that one out for an infield single.
Yeah, very nice. I'm going to be ducking out here in a minute. I'm going to watch this hitter, and then I'm going to turn the camera back on here. So I'll be hopping back and forth on it. I know my parents are waiting to hear my voice because they're watching this game again in their living room on the big screen, and they're loving that you're broadcasting like this. So I'm going to say thank you for them.
100%, and this one right to second base, and they are able to roll 2. Not exactly the look that MacNSeitz was hoping for. So a doggone double play. That'll bring us back to the top of our lineup, and we are glad that you're able to join us from Maryland, Maine. I can't remember where it was from. Was it Maine?
7.
Now 2-7, Tucker Lee at the plate. This one off the end of the bat. Fortunately, rolls foul. So quick hands for him. I think in his last at-bat, it went off the end of the bat too. So needing to let that ball travel just a bit more. See if we can't change up your view here. And gets him swinging on an off-speed right there. So 0-2 count quickly. Goes down swinging, and that is going to be it for us here in a short top of the third. Not a great AB there, and unfortunate that we are able to get somebody on base and roll into a double play, but part of baseball, and we'll see how we can get behind Cooper Harvoth defensively here and bottom of the third. Once again, thanks for joining us, and quick audio break. And Harvoth starting bottom of the third with a strike right down the pipe.
Strike two, quick work here. I like the tempo of the game shifting a little bit. We're upticking the cycle time between pitches here, which is quite nice.
Tries to get him chasing with a little off speed there, but no joy. We're here towards the top half of the lineup for the stick baseballs. This is number 17, Barrett Mallett. That pitch gets away from Harvoth, and that'll even up the count now, 2-2. Well, I tell you what, it is still warm, but it is not the heat, the brutal heat that we have had, and a little bit more enjoyable. I'm sure it's probably a fair amount warmer out there on the turf, though.
You can feel the heat radiating off the turf. You get within, a foot or so of the backstop, and it is cooking over there.
Doggone it, after starting with the first pitch strike, 17 gets away from Harvoth, and that should bring up Boston Graber. So not too often that we're coming up with another athlete that goes by the name of Boston, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often at all. I mean, number of times I can maybe count on one finger at the moment.
I can wait. It's okay.
And so that first pitch coming in as a ball. Harvoth checks on that runner over at first. Tell you what, I like the check over there at first. I'm
the umpire says.
Absolutely, and the ball kind of popped out of the glove after the out, and so I think there was a little bit of a hesitation there, but the umpire was firm in the call.
Take the play.
This one's going to get through on the left side for a single.
Hard hit ball there, ripping through the infield.
Well, a great throw by Satterwhite, and great to get an out like that, because now you got to think that stick baseball is going to be like, okay, well, maybe it's not free reign. Oh, man. Oh, and that one off the heel of the glove. Harrison with the throw over to third, and the throw gets away. Now another throw.
Made the play at home and again at third. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
That was exceptional. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
That connection right there between Reed and Boston was on point there. Ball creeps away, thrown back to Reed, gunned right back to Boston at third to be able to make that play. Beautiful teamwork there.
Oh my goodness, man. I tell you what, I couldn't be more excited about that. It's a little bit sloppy play, right? And so, unfortunately, or fortunately rather, MacNSeitz able to come up with a couple of nice throws and catches and putting the tags on. So, man.
Looks like the Sticks coach over there is trying to make sure and make the umpires make a determination that that was the actual call over there. So the umps are standing in the middle of the field conferring, and that runner that was called out over at third is still standing there waiting to see if he gets to occupy that base or if he's headed back to the dugout.
Well, what a sequence of a play of a single continuous play, and I tell you what, you don't see it too often. Looks like the umpires are calling head coach Jake Sawyer for MacNSeitz over. Don't know if they're going to change any calls here, and it looks like the Sticks baseball coach is coming up for the conversation as well.
Did they score the home? Wasn't there a home run too? Or was it?
No, so there was a runner that came home. He got tagged out, and then the throw went down to third, and then that runner got tagged out. So kind of unbelievable. Some good energy there, and hopefully what we can do is use that energy over here on the offensive side of the ball and get some runs going. Let's see what's happening here. Looks like there's a lot of conversation on Jake Sawyer's part, and that may not be to the benefit of MacNSeitz.
Be a tough one for them to overturn. I mean, we're looking here. We don't have the benefit of New York on speed dial here to be able to tell us what actually happened. So it's left to these umps that may have been looking in the wrong spot when that play transpired. You know, the umps busy watching to confirm the out play at home, and then they got to change their line of sight to be able to look for that next runner at third when there's other opportunities to make other outs out there on that field.
No doubt, and there's a big difference, I think, too, when you look at just running two umpires versus like what they do in the bigs or in major Division I college baseball, where you've got field umpires, you know, in the proper positions. So, what's that?
Turn that one. Needs to come back to the left just a smidge.
Oh yeah.
This is becoming a really prolonged discussion out here right now. Starting to feel like it is not looking like happy news for the MacNSeitz team at the moment here.
Well, I think the Sticks baseball coach looks like he can't wait to get off the field, so I think it might be to their benefit. And it looks like the base runner is over there waiting on third, whereas the MacNSeitz boys have all lined up, got their helmets on, they're ready to hit.
Yep.
I got to tell you, from my viewpoint, so I'm looking straight down that third base line, and it looked to me like they had him dead to rights.
It looked to me like they had him beat by a step.
Yeah.
Boston Reed hit Boston on the run with the. They're putting him back on third.
That's absolute trash.
All right, so play will resume. So MacNSeitz is going to have to actually retake the field. Well, so now they're saying that the run counted as well.
So neither. So then we're back to 1 out.
Wow. And so what a turn of events right there. So the home plate umpire and so the home plate umpire now getting quite a razzing from the MacNSeitz fan base. He's actually kicked 2 of them out of the field. And so he's not going to let play resume until they leave. So a quick audio break here just as that gets cleared out of the way. All right, so Cooper Harvoth, Boston with a great play right there, and another run will come across. Man, what a sequence of events there. Some of the best plays I've seen in quite some time, and now it's resulting in a 2-run swing.
So the official ruling is that they're saying that the ball went into the dugout. And so it left the field of play, which is why that run was having to count. And that out didn't count. Anything that happened subsequent to the ball leaving the field of play, they're saying, was...
Then they should have yelled dead ball.
So that one over the... That one over the head of Harrison Perkins bounces on that turf as we often see on these turf fields, and gets a good bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. So a lot of catch up here to do on what's going on and transpiring for the game. But I think Kevin said it best. At the end of the day, if the ball does leave the field of play, that does become a dead ball. I think the problem is that the home plate umpire needs to take control of the game at that point, come across the home plate with his hands raised and saying that's a dead ball, and then instructing the runners on where they're supposed to be able to advance.
Absolutely.
That did not happen, and so that's what created the confusion and then, of course, some of the upset fan base.
Well, and those kind of rules exist to save players from injuries that don't need to happen there. There's a lot of activity happening on that side of the field right now, and the ump is supposed to be in command, not making the call after the fact. And theoretically, we had 2 guys on that side of the field, and neither one of them saw what happened and called that ball out until the coach came and told them he thought it was out from the other team.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting because from our point of view, the dugout extends past where we can really see. Ball in play, this one over to short. And Parker Simons with a fantastic play. So now MacNSeitz, as upset as I have ever seen them, they are hopefully going to be able to use some of that emotion in a positive way on the offensive side of the ball. I'm sure that there are still guys out in the outfield that are confused about exactly what the call was and all that. And hopefully some of the infielders are able to let them know exactly what had happened. But
yeah, when they went back out on the field, I saw Boston talking to the umps to be able to try to figure out what was happening, since he was the one that fielded the ball and he was trying to give his insight into where he picked that ball up. So we're going to see maybe a little bit after the game what the story looks like from the fielder's point of view, but we won't have that insight until the next time you're on the air.
You know, what I can't appreciate is that the umpires wanting to make the correct call. They conferred for quite some time before they called the coaching staff of both teams out and stuff like that. But I still believe that when you're in that moment, if you have let that play continue, right? You didn't step across the plate. You didn't call the dead ball. You didn't let the runners know where to advance. How do you really go back and do that? And, I think at the end of the day, it's rare that you can make 100% of the right calls.
Yeah, I got to say, it's you expect them to honor the call that was made on the field rather than the one that was made after the fact, during the live action.
No doubt about it. And, at the end of the day, we still have a really close ball game here. The score now 3-1. Certainly a big advantage for Stick Baseball Academy, and we'll see how MacNSeitz can return in kind.
Yeah, I'm going to go duck out and catch some footage here of these next couple of hitters, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, you bet. Well, I'll tell you what, leading off for this inning is going to be Boston Townsend, followed by number 1, Cooper Harvoth. So Stick Baseball continuing to stick with their starting pitcher. Lefty who's pitched a good game thus far. So Townsend taking that one ball. That one for a ball low. So I like the fact that Boston is patient. He looks for his pitches. He's looking for what he wants. He's going to get one here. And an exuberance of emotion there as Calder is hit by a pitch and will make his way down to first. So it looks like my camera there was a little bit wonky. But that one was low, close to being in the dirt, and did hit Boston. So he's on first base, and that brings up Cooper Harvoth. And this is what I like. So you got a first pitch for a ball. We show some patience here. Let the pitcher struggle just a little bit. Make him find the zone. And instead we get a foul ball out of play, right side. See, right there, I would have preferred to see us be just a touch slower. Let this pitcher find the zone before we're getting into a ground ball or a pop fly. We've got a runner on first base. We don't get into a double play type of situation. Catcher's not been tested just yet. Swing and a miss for Harvoth. That'll make it a 1-2 count. So not sure who was controlling the scoreboard before, but they've taken a small break. Harvoth laying off that one, down in the dirt off speed. So the boys up on the fence in the dugout, they're hot about this situation. So we'll see if they can come through with something. This ball straight back to the pitcher. He bobbles it just enough that he's not able to get the lead runner. And so Harvoth is able to advance the base runner over to second. That'll go down as a fielder's choice, and that's going to bring up number 21, Reed Satterwhite. So big swing by Satterwhite. Misses the ball on that one, just so. Conservative lead over there on second base. And a good block by the catcher. I believe that's number 46, Preston Kendall, behind the dish for Stick Baseball. And Reed now on a 2-1 count. Shortstop working back and forth just behind the base runner over there on second base. Satterwhite a lefty. Swing and a miss. So count now even, 2-2. Pitch working from the stretch. And Satterwhite will go down swinging. So that'll put 2 outs in the inning here, top of the 4th. Now Brooks Carr up at the plate. So Brooks with a nice single on his last AB. We'll see what he's able to do here. And now the stick baseball coach wanting to confer with the home plate umpire. So stick baseball coach.
What just happened?
I'm not sure exactly what he was asking about. I think he may have been asking about the pitch count. Yeah, now he's saying this is 1-0. So that'll make it 2-0 quickly for number 5, Brooks Carr.
I'm getting a little confused with the sideline umpiring that's happening here.
Well, it is interesting. Stick baseball, an Arkansas team. Obviously, just 1 hour away from that Fayetteville area here in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Maybe a little bit of a local flavor. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I tend to try not to go all the way to thinking anything nefarious is going on, but it's a little weird how involved the coach is trying to be in the calls that are being made.
Hard hit ball. This one's right to third base. And a bad throw. Brooks Carr will reach on air, and MacNSeitz will bring one home.
Heads up base running from Boston there, taking advantage of that misthrow.
So going back to what we were talking about before, just putting the ball in play.
Yes, sir. It seems like all you need is an opportunity. Get that ball in the green, and you can make something happen.
MacNSeitz chips away at the lead. Score now 3-2 in favor of Sticks baseball. That'll bring up number 35, Zane Valdez.
Without saying the umps are doing anything wrong, but when you're feeling like the calls aren't going your way, one of the best ways to deal with it is to take the call out of their hands.
100%. Valdez turns on that one, but little chopper foul. Yeah, and I always try to give the umpiring staffs the benefit of the doubt because, it's an incredibly hard sport to officiate. A lot of really small intricacies to the sport.
There's a number of rules that you got to be attentive to. There's a lot of moving parts, and Boston will often umpire in his spare time, and so I think he's a little bit maybe helped me understand better some of the way it feels to be spoken to when you're making a call that people don't particularly like.
100%. And if you go back in and take a look at how our coach, Jake Sawyer, was talking with it, big, huge hit. This one's center field, but the center fielder barely has to move a step, and that'll be out number 3. So, but not before MacNSeitz chips away at the lead, adding 1 to their total, and now a 3-2 game. That'll take us to bottom of the 4th.
All right, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm going to pop back in maybe a little bit later in the broadcast, but I'm going to go watch some baseball sitting beside my wife for the rest of the game for a little bit here, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for having me again, Robert. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great to have you here, Kevin. Thanks so much. And
thank you.
A short audio break here for the half inning. And a quick start here to bottom of the fourth. Cooper Harvoth wasting absolutely zero time. Now 1-1 count on a swing and a miss. That is number 15, Locks Cicero. So takes a pitch, outer half, called strike. Gonna have to fix my one camera here. Usually like to see that on a righty. 2-2 count. Harvoth gets him swinging right there, but able to get the bat on the ball with a small adjustment. Fouls that one back. So he'll continue his AB. Satterwhite doing a good job getting the glove on the ball. And that'll now be a full count. And ball 4. So leadoff batter makes his way over to first base on a walk. And that'll bring up number 18, Tague Polland? Maybe Pollard, yeah. Got some handwriting here. Harvoth checks over on first base. Cicero over there on first base. Doesn't look like a speedster, but looks like a good solid athlete. As Pollard fouls that one down the third base line. And he'll be down in the count now, 0-1. Harvoth checks over on first. Not looking to give up any free bases. Swing and a miss there. Well, Harvoth doing a good job of finding the zone early and finding it often. Pop fly. This is right side. This is going to be in foul territory. And he comes up with the out there. Miles Vaughn on the catch. And a wild pitch there. That gets away from Satterwhite. Runner will advance over to second. And I got to tell you, Reed really laid out for that one, so no way I think he could have stopped that one. Every now and then, ball just comes out of that pitch grip just a little goofy, and one will get away from you. Fly ball right side. All right, so some instruction coming from the dugout side, feeling that the base runner left second base a little bit early, and so they are appealing. Again, my view to that far right side of the field kind of obstructed, so I was not able to see exactly when the catch was made as to when the base runner left second base, but base umpire not seeing it the same way as dugout from the MacNSeitz team. So the tag results in a runner over there on third. That is number 12, Deacon Cicero. At the plate. Now an 0-2 count. Pop fly. Third baseman. Oh, unable to come up with the catch. There was a lot of action there between the catcher and the third baseman. I think the third baseman felt like Satterwhite was a little bit close to him, unable to come up with that catch over there in foul territory. And so Cicero will get another try. So Cicero putting the bat to the ball. Everything so far has gone foul, but his timing's been close. This one, a little dribbler right back to pitch, and that's good for out number 3. So MacNSeitz able to hold stick baseball, and we've got a tight one here. 3-2 in favor of stick baseball. Next up, MacNSeitz to the plate. All right, folks, that brings us to top of the 5th and stick baseball with a pitching substitution. We now have 21. That is Brooks Robinson up there on the mound. Leading off for MacNSeitz today is Sebastian Wingrove.
2-7. 2-7.
Late swing there to start. 0-1 count. So Wingrove adjusting the helmet, stepping out of the box and resetting. Looking to get something going here for MacNSeitz. A little check swing. This results in a little chopper right back to pitch, and that is going to be out number 1. So MacNSeitz not the benefactor of a couple of check swings today. But stick baseball doing a great job handling the resulting contact. That brings up number 15, Miles Vaughn. So that last pitch coming in 81 miles an hour, so some good velocity here. And I got to say, so that's an 0-2 count for Vaughn, but Vaughn is a good fastball hitter. And MacNSeitz as a whole, having typically historically done very well against harder velocity pitching. So we'll see how this plays out. Tries to get him with a little off speed, but that one out of the zone. Now 1-2 count. Missed with another off speed. Now 2-2. So Vaughn being patient, looking for what he wants. And when you see a higher velocity pitcher, you know he wants to eat that fastball. Oh, and a strike 3 call. Vaughn feeling like that one was out of the zone. And that's going to be 2 quick ones for MacNSeitz. Well, that's going to bring up number 1-8, Parker Simons. So here in top of the 5th, MacNSeitz just 1 down. Hard hit ball. This one right side. It's deep. And Stick Baseball comes up with that one for out number 3. Well, folks, that'll take us to bottom of the 5th. MacNSeitz will have just 2 more scoring opportunities. But needing to hold Stick Baseball Academy right here in bottom of the 5th. Short audio break. Folks, thanks again for joining us here on the MacNSeitz 15U YouTube channel. All right, had to make an adjustment to the old broadcast booth there, and had a nice play by number 10, Sebastian Wingrove, for out number 1. And a ball outside. So MacNSeitz sticks with Cooper Harvoth. Done a pretty good job so far. Those runs you see on the board, I believe at least a couple of them are the results of errors behind him in the field. And Satterwhite really reaching out to get that ball. Now 3-0 count. So Harvoth not finding the zone on that AB. And that'll bring up number 11, Boston Graber, for Stick Baseball Academy. Third base coach gives his sign to his base runner. Cooper Harvoth looks over and delivers home. Just missing on that one. And a quick throw back over there to first base, but Stick Baseball up no problem. Graber with a 1-0 count. Hard hit ball. This one left side. It's going to rope foul, but it was deep. And in baseball, that oftentimes is called a long strike. Making the pitch count now 2-1. So small in stature, but a big stick. And a ball out. So 3-1 count. And looks back over at first. So Harvoth doing a good job working with the catcher, Reed Satterwhite, Miles Vaughn over there at first. Try to keep that base runner honest. Satterwhite already with the throw out at second. Pop up, this is right side. Sebastian Wingrove tracking it down. And he comes up with the out. So covering some good ground right there. Little basket catch. But he's able to come up with it. So that's 2 outs, and for some reason or another, Coach Jake Sawyer calling in Harrison Perkins from left field to come in and pitch for Harvoth. So Harvoth with a great performance, pitching nearly 5 full innings and giving up 3 runs, but I believe only 2 of which were earned. I have to go back in and look at the box score. But we'll take a small break here, folks, while Harrison Perkins warms up. Bottom of the 5th. All right, folks, that takes us to bottom of the 5th. Got to make a couple of small adjustments here. Harrison Perkins, now the pitcher of record. And starts off with a wild pitch behind the batter. Have to go back and look, and it was a possible situation where Harvoth didn't have any more innings or outs to go, and so Coach Jake Sawyer having to make that substitution. Good looking off speed right there, and that's number 16, Cade Rogers for the Stick Baseball Academy. He felt like that one was outside and looking for that walk. Oh, that one pegs him right in the back, and so he will earn his way over to first base. So that'll put runners on second and first. MacNSeitz very much needing to come up with that third out and holding Stick Baseball Academy right here as they're trying to claw their way back. Down now 3-2. So this was the starting pitcher, and again, we did not get his name in the lineup, although I'm sure he's on their roster. First pitch strike for Harrison. And a beautiful day. The breeze that we were enjoying early has kind of fallen away as he ropes that one foul left. And you may be able to see that flag out there in center field, and it is just hanging down. So absolutely zero breeze coming through at the moment. But a beautiful day all the same. Perkins missing outside on that one. Now a 1-2 count. Good lead over at second. Simon's clapping behind him. And Satterwhite doing a good job getting his glove on that one well outside. Fouls that one back. Perkins makes his way back to the mound. He is, of course, working from the stretch with runners on. And a ball down. So an important pitch coming up here with a full count. Runners on second and first.
I was so nervous.
And a line drive. This one's going to get through the infield. One run will score. Big throw coming home. And runner will hold at first. So an RBI single for the Sticks Baseball Academy will improve their margin 4-2. That'll leave runners on first and third. So a good stroke. And no doing for the fielding positions out there. But feeling like Zane Valdez did a good job getting that ball and getting it in. And also not letting that runner advance from first to second. Wild pitch. This one glances off the glove for Reed Satterwhite. And now this is where the wheels just seem to be falling off the bus. So a pass ball results in a run, but then that errant throw back, trying to make a quick throw back to the home plate. The runner's able to advance all the way to third as he gets by the pitcher. So score now 5-2. Big swing and a miss. And another wild pitch. This will be another run for the Sticks Baseball Academy. So some self-inflicted harm right there. Couple of pass balls resulting in a couple of runs, and honestly just really nothing that the catcher could do. Harrison Perkins kind of winds up the arms, kind of relaxed, tries to reset. Ooh, comes in with a near miss there. That is number 2, Bryce Clare, maybe. Well, that's 4 balls, and he'll make his way over to first. So, few walks, couple of hits, an error or two, and Sticks Baseball has really improved their margin. Batter taking his sign from the third base coach. Perkins working from the stretch, comes set. Delivers home. Runner feinted as if he was going to run to second. And Perkins struggling to find the zone a bit. So what has been a pretty close matchup while Harvoth was on the mound. MacNSeitz having to make that change. And Sticks Baseball coming up with a good pitch to steal on. Little changeup from Perkins, that one down low. And the runner's able to make his way over to second easily with no throw. And ball 4, that was number 7, Zach Hill. And that'll bring up number 15, Locke Cicero. So 2 down. MacNSeitz just trying to come up with that third out. You tell Perkins right there wanted to kind of work from the windup, realizing what the situation was, readjusted, working from the stretch, and another wild pitch. He slips off the front of that mound. Looks like maybe he is struggling to find some grip for that landing foot. I just now saw that, and maybe that's what's attributed to some of the lack of control here. We had a game here earlier in the season. First tournament, a little bit of rain, and sometimes this turf gets incredibly slick. That one fouled down the left side, but foul. Little pop-up, but this one out of play. So we now have a 2-2 count. Cicero adjusts his batting gloves and steps back into the box. Perkins on the bump. Tries to go to the off speed and did not get the action he was looking for. Shakes the arm out, and he's all set, ready to go. And that one well inside for ball 4. And so Perkins continuing to struggle with a little bit of control here. Reed Satterwhite taking a small moment to talk to him. And the infield conferring on how they want to handle the ball. But 2 down, force at any base with the bases loaded. So you got to think you're just going to take that easy out, whatever the nearest base may be. Fly ball, this one center field, and Zane Valdez tracking that one easily for out number 3. So a tough inning for MacNSeitz right there, giving up 3 more runs, mostly attributed to errors and walks. Well, we will take a short break here as MacNSeitz tries to collect themselves, and they've got 2 more opportunities to put some runs on the board. And so Harrison Perkins up at the plate leading off for MacNSeitz this inning. Looking to help himself out now as he's the pitcher of record. Harrison at times showing good speed, good exit velocity off the bat. When he's able to make contact, that one fouling out of play. That'll even up the count now, 1-1. Good off speed, that one. Slow dribbler over to first base, and that's out one for stick baseball. So that's going to bring up number 31, Anthony Sutcliffe. So Anthony, unfortunately, having a little bit of a shoulder issue on his throwing arm, not playing out in the field, making his way all the way down here and continuing to support the team. So good to see him get an AB. Prognosis looks pretty good and pretty positive. He's only going to be kind of like held off the throne here until maybe midweek next week. And we do have another tournament coming up, so with any luck, maybe a little arm care and some quick healing, maybe we can get him back in the field. That changeup going low and down in the dirt in front of the plate. So he blows that one by Sutcliffe, and that'll be a quick out number 2. Well, that brings up Cooper McCown. In for Tucker Lee. So good working, good action off that off speed for Brooks Robinson. Continuing to throw right there in the low 80s, very consistently, 80, 81, that last one, 82. Waiting on deck, looking on, is Boston Townsend. And McCown jumping out of the way. Little chatter from the box saying, hey, you got to stay in there and wear that. But, you know, that one was right at the feet. You got to move your feet. Nobody wants to get hit in the ankle. That one almost that same location, and that'll be ball 3. So Robinson losing a little control here. Goes back to the fastball. This one in play over to short. And throw comes in a little high. First baseman jumps, makes a nice play to get the thrown ball, but off the bag before, as the runner came across, rather. My main camera had some issues with the netting here. I'll have to fix that in between innings. So McCown reaches on air, and that'll bring up Boston Townsend.
Oh, gosh. I don't know if I can fix that.
And Townsend waiting right there. Now 2-0 count.
Do you want me to take over so you can fix it?
And now a stop in play. Looks like the catcher just tossed his mitt over to his head coach. And I'll bet there was an issue with the laces. So it looks like one of the other players grabbing a catcher's mitt. And so just a little equipment swap out there. Brooks Robinson throwing with some good velocity. So if catcher's had that glove for a little while, first thing that wears on a catcher's glove, and almost with any glove, tends to be those laces. Hard hit ball. This one's going to get through the infield. And MacNSeitz showing some life here. And top of the 6th. 2 runners on. And looking to get a little 2-run rally going. That'll bring up number 1, Cooper Harvoth. And remember, Cooper McCown over there on second base has good speed on the base pass. Maybe not one of the saltiest base runners like maybe a Reed Votaw or something like that, but definitely a quick step and good overall speed. So a single could result in a run. Harvoth with 2 quick balls. Boston Townsend over there on first. McCown on second. Harvoth with a 3-0 count. Now all my cameras are messed up.
Go to the left.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little more. So now a 3-1 count.
There you go.
And Robinson, to his credit, battling back. Runners go. Hard hit ball. And that one unfortunately goes right to the second baseman. Nice clean glove. And that's out 3. So just when MacNSeitz showing some late life in that inning, trying to get a little something going with 2 runners on, they leave 2 stranded. And our score is still 6-2. So a quick audio break here, and we'll be back with you for bottom of the 6th.
All right, thanks for coming over.
Was that a fastball? I was looking at the camera.
All right, and so that's Perkins up there on the bump, starting with the ball out. So struggling with a little bit of control here in that last inning. See if you can't get it dialed back in here. Sometimes you just need a few reps get things going. Nice ground ball. Clean glove by Boston Townsend, and that's good for out number 1. So some great efficiency right there.
I think that shows him right now that if he can get that ball in the zone, induce the weak contact, and we can do what we need to do here. His team's got him.
And that is always one of those things as a pitcher that you really want. You want to have the confidence to be able to pitch to contact, get those ground balls, get those pop flies, and know that they're going to be there for you.
Yeah, 100%. Especially we're asking our pitchers to get us ground balls. Those are what we need to turn those double plays. Hard hit ground balls, weakly hit ground balls, but those are our bread and butter.
Well, that is number 12, Deacon Cicero, up at the plate for stick baseball. Working on a 1-1 count.
Ooh, I was in the stands and hearing some of what's going on around here, and we're catching a little bit of an odor on the breeze here. Apparently there's a pig farm just on the other side of the field, and when that wind kicks up, it gets a little intense out here.
Well, that was my first whiff of it just a moment ago, and I was just getting ready to say it. You beat me to the punch, but my goodness, that's when I grew up out in Kansas, and everybody talked about Western Kansas, all the beef cattle places. They always joked that was the smell of money.
Well, that's funny. Out here, it kind of is, right?
That's right. So pig farm, beef, whatever it might be. But so Harrison battles back now, full count, working from the windup, and he misses that one high. So Cicero draws a walk, and that will bring up number 18, Tage Pollard. Oh, no, my mistake. That is number 6. And again, that is another gentleman on the roster, I'm sure, but not part of that initial lineup, and we didn't get the full roster listing. So Satterwhite and Perkins talking a little bit right there, conferring about what they're going to do, how they're going to attack it. And
so run around first, 1 out as we resume play here.
So ball up and out. You see that sun setting on the right side of the field, so really shouldn't come into too much play, I think, as far as the batter not being able to see or any of the fielders.
As the sun sets, it might be a little bit more of a menace to the catchers and the hitters once it gets a little lower on the horizon, but at the moment it doesn't look to be too bothersome to them.
So 3 pitches, 3 balls, and Perkins trying to collect himself here. And delivers one right down the pipe.
That confidence to throw that 3-0 strike is what we need on the 5th pitch of that at bat as well. Send it right down the pipe, challenge him, see what this kid can do, and let our outfield do a little work if that's going to be the case.
Absolutely, and I think when you're up there on the bump and you're just not coming up with the control that you're really looking for, you can really start to kind of question yourself. You end up changing small, tiny little things mechanically to try to make those adjustments. And sometimes that can make things for the worse, but sometimes you can kind of battle yourself back. But we got runners on first and second right now, and 1 down.
That comes across for a strike.
So stick baseball with no real outlandish leads right now, playing pretty conservatively. Pop fly over to Townsend at third. He collects that for out number 2.
Dugout getting in the game there, letting everybody know that Boston had it. Boston letting everybody know that he had it. I don't think there was any confusion on that one.
Nope, it was a little bit more shallow, so not a lot of time for Short or the pitch or anybody else to get over there. But does a nice job centering himself on it. Uses two hands, pulls that one in.
I'd love to see another infield fly or short fly ball, little weak tapper. Any of the above would work in this situation.
And another wild pitch. Satterwhite not able to get up there and get that glove on it. You can see Perkins kind of like, mimicking his arm motion there, just trying to tell himself, hey, I just need to finish forward, snap forward, and that kind of thing. So you can tell he's talking to himself. You can tell that he's trying to get it dialed back in.
Like any good catcher, I could see tapping his chest saying, I got you, or owning not getting that one for him that time.
And that one missing low. Now 3-0 count. And, of course, those runners are now on second and third after that wild pitch. Well, that'll load the bases, and that gives MacNSeitz a little advantage with a force out at any base. But it looks like Coach Jake Sawyer is wanting to talk about it. And so he calls time and heads out to the mound for a visit. So Perkins not really exhibiting some of that more positive body posture and stuff like that. And you know what? I've seen my son out there do the same thing. And it's just one of those things as an athlete, you want to compete. And you want it so bad. You want to do well. You don't want to let your team down and stuff like that. And that comes out in a lot of different ways. But Coach Sawyer sticking with Harrison right there, just trying to give him some encouragement.
Yeah, there's I know it's like a common theme here, but the body and the mind are so connected, man. Sometimes you make your body have that posture, that command, that presence, and your mind will follow.
So fresh batter, fresh count. High fly ball. This one could be trouble, but no.
Hauled in by, is that Alex out there in right, AK?
That's right, Alex Kilman. With a good step out there, having to reach out, but collects that for out number 3. And now MacNSeitz down to the very end. 3 outs left, 4 runs to go, and we'll see what they can put together here in this next half inning.
Yeah, we need every bit of what they got left in the tank right now.
100%. So, quick audio break. I'm going to go try to get one last adjustment on this camera here and get you guys some good views. Thanks again for joining us while we're out here playing on the Bear Baseball Diamond. So, what is it? Wyandotte, right? Wyandotte Bear Baseball.
Just over the border into Oklahoma over here.
That's right. And so leading off for MacNSeitz, Reed Satterwhite. Robinson continuing to work for Stick Baseball Academy out there on the hill. And I tell you what, it'd just be great if we can get just a little action going. See if we can't shake some of that confidence for Robinson. Big swing and a miss. Pretty late behind that ball. Fouls that one, and so now he's working on that timing. Oh, no, the catcher's able to hold on to it. And so that'll go down as a strikeout. So this is Alex Kilman now at the plate. Came in as a defensive substitution for Brooks Carr out there in right field and making a nice play.
Everybody, you ready? Oh, way ahead of it, buddy.
So got him with a curveball right there, or an off speed rather. And so now MacNSeitz down to their last out. That brings up number 35, Zane Valdez. Waiting on deck is number 10, Sebastian Wingrove. And some nice control on that off speed right there. And he blows that one right by him, coming in 80 miles an hour. Swing just a second behind.
Let's go 3-5.
And that one missing outside. So you got to imagine Stick Baseball feeling pretty confident about where they're sitting right now, enjoying a 6-2 lead, having two down. Valdez puts this one into play, and that is fielded cleanly by the second baseman. And that's going to do it for us here in this one. Stick Baseball coming up with some big runs there in the fourth. And what was an otherwise tight matchup. Obviously a lot of contention about some of those calls a little bit earlier in the game where that ball apparently went out of play. But regardless, it looks like MacNSeitz will play back-to-back now. And so we will have another one coming up for you just after this. That will be our last game in the Chad Wolf Classic. So I'll tell you what, folks, we are going to go on pause here, and we'll come back to you live, bringing you some MacNSeitz baseball action. Hoping for a better outcome in this next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye now.